Good morning, students. Welcome back to biology class, chapter 13, Organisms and Populations, part 5. Today's class we are going to discuss about the population interactions in that parasitism. Considering that the parasitic mode of life ensures free lodging and meals, it is not surprising that parasitism has evolved in so many taxonomic groups from plants to higher vertebrates. Many parasites have evolved to be host specific. They can parasites only a single species of host. See that one? They are the host but are the specific characters in such a way that both the host and the parasite tend to co-evolve. That is, if the host evolves special mechanisms for rejecting or resisting the parasite has to evolve mechanisms to contract and neutralize them in order to be successful with the same host species. In accordance with their lifestyles, parasites evolved special adaptations such as the first point, loss of unnecessary sense organs, presence of adhesive organs or suckers to cling on to the host, loss of digestive system and high reproductive capacity. The life cycles of parasites are often complex, involving one or two intermediate hosts or vectors to facilitate parasitization of its primary host. The human liver fluke, it is a trematode parasite, depends on two intermediate hosts, that is, one is a snail and a fish, to complete its life cycle. The malarial parasite needs, that is, a malarial parasite is the plasmodium, needs a vector mosquito, that is the Anopheles mosquito, to spread to other host. Majority of the parasites harm the host. They may reduce the survival, growth and reproduction of the host and reduce its population density. They might render the host more vulnerable to predation by making it physically weak. Now we will discuss about the types of parasites. Mainly there are three types it is there. The first one, it is the ectoparasite. Parasites that feed on the external surface of the host organism are called ectoparasites. The most familiar examples of this group are the lice on humans and ticks on dogs. Many marine fish are infested with ectoparasitic copepods. Then the cuscuta is a parasitic plant that is commonly found growing on hedge plants, has lost its chlorophyll and leaves in the course of evolution. It derives its nutrition from the host plant, which it parasitizes. The female mosquito is not considered a parasite, although it needs our blood for reproduction. Second group of parasites are the endoparasite. Endoparasites are those that live inside the host body at different sites like liver, kidney, lungs, red blood cells, etc. The life cycles of endoparasites are more complex because of their extreme specialization. Their morphological and anatomical features are greatly simplified while emphasizing their reproductive potential. The third group of parasitism is the brood parasitism. In birds is a fascinating example of parasitism in which the parasitic bird lays its eggs in the nest of its host and lets the host incubate them. During the course of evolution, the eggs of the parasitic bird have evolved to resemble the host egg in size and color to reduce the chances of the host bird detecting the foreign eggs and ejecting them from the nest. Try to follow the movements of the cuckoo or quail and the crow in your neighborhood park during the breeding season and watch the brood parasitism in action. Next population interaction is the commensalism. This is the interaction in which one species benefits and the other is neither harmed nor benefited. An orchid growing is an epiphyte on a mango branch, and barnacles growing on the back of a whale benefit, while neither the mango tree nor the whale derives any apparent benefit. The cattle, egret, and grazing cattle in close association, a sight you are most likely to catch if you live in a farmed rural areas. It is classic example of commensalism. The egret always forage close to where the cattle are grazing because the cattle as they move stir up and flush out from the vegetation insects that otherwise might be difficult for the egrets to find and catch. Another example of commensalism is the interaction between the sea anemone that has stinging tentacles and the clownfish that lives among them. The fish gets protection from the predators which stay away from the stinging tentacles. The anemone does not appear to derive any benefit by hosting the clownfish. Next population interaction is the mutualism. This interaction confers benefits on both the interacting species. Lichens represent an intimate mutualistic relationship between a fungus and photosynthesizing algae or cyanobacteria. Similarly, the mycorrhizae are associates between fungi and the roots of higher plants. The fungi help the plant in the absorption of essential nutrients from the soil, while the plant in turn provides the fungi with energy yielding carbohydrates. The most spectacular and evolutionarily fascinating examples of mutualism are found in plant-animal relationship. Plants need the help of animals for pollinating their flowers and dispersing their seeds. Animals obviously have to be paid fees for the services that plants expect from them. Plants offer rewards or fees in the form of pollen and nectar for pollinators and juicy and nutritious fruits for seed dispersers. But the mutually beneficial system should also be safeguarded against cheaters. For example, animals that try to steal nectar without aiding in pollination. Now you can see why plant-animal interactions often involve co-evolution of the mutualists, that is, the evolutions of the flower and its pollinator species are tightly linked with one another. In many species of fig trees, there is a tight one-to-one relationship with the pollinator species of wasp. It means that a given fig species can be pollinated only by its partner wasp species and no other species. The female wasp uses the fruit not only as an oviposition egg-laying site but uses the developing seeds within the fruit for nourishing its larvae. The wasp pollinators the fig inflorescence while searching for suitable egg-laying sites. In return for the favor of pollination, the fig offers the wasp some of its developing seeds as food for the developing wasp larvae. Orchids show a bewildering diversity of floral patterns, flower arrangement, many of which have evolved to attract the right pollinator insect like bees and ensure guaranteed pollination by it. Not all orchids offer rewards. The Mediterranean orchid offers employees sexual deceit to get pollination done by a species of bee. One petal of its flower bears an uncanny resemblance to the female of the bee in size, color, and markings. The male bee is attracted to what it perceives as a female pseudo-copulates with the flower, and during that process is dusted with the pollen from the flower. When this same bee pseudo-copulates with another flower, it transfers pollen to it and thus pollinates the flower. Here you can see how co-evolution operates. If the female bee's color patterns change even slightly for any reason during evolution, pollination success will be reduced unless the orchid flower co-evolves to maintain the resemblance of its petal to the female bee. Thank you.